Have you ever been accused of being selfish when you were just trying to set a boundary? Well, the answer might lie in how you tried to set that boundary. So let's talk a little bit about that and see if we can sort it all out. If you're a people pleaser and you struggle with setting boundaries, the last thing you want is for people to call you selfish. And I think being called selfish, if you're a people pleaser, is like your worst nightmare. So it's often feels safer just to not set boundaries at all, but you need to. Like that's just part of the process of overcoming your people pleasing and to stop overextending yourself. So, how do you do this? How do you set a boundary without being selfish? Well, there's actually a very simple way to know if you're being selfish by setting a boundary, and that is to think of what you're asking for. A boundary is going to impact somebody else in some way. When you ask for them to change something that they're doing or not doing, it really depends on what you're asking for. If you're asking them to change because of something about you and you're talking about yourself, that would be setting a boundary. If you're asking for them to change and you're talking about them and you're trying to get them to do something different, that's where it starts to get selfish or feel selfish to the other person. It's a little counterintuitive. Talking about yourself isn't selfish, but talking about them is. So I want to give you an example. Let's say you and your partner share a car and your partner doesn't clean it out after they use it. They leave beverage containers and food wrappers on the seat. They never take it to the car wash. And if they leave dirt on the floorboards from their shoes, they never clean it up. If you want to drive a clean car, you have to clean it up, and you don't want to drive a dirty car around. So, what you want your partner to do is clean the car after they use it. When you approach your partner about the issue, what you want to do is talk about yourself and how you're being impacted. You want to say how it makes you feel, what you don't like about it, and how it affects your routines. Then you make a request. Usually, when we look at other people's behavior, we examine what they're doing and try to get at the root cause of the problem. And in the process, what we end up doing is telling them what to do or what's in their best interest. So, if you were going to talk to your partner about this issue from this particular perspective of getting to the root cause of the problem, you would tell your partner not to go to fast food restaurants, don't eat in the car, how often to go through the car wash, and so on. The reasoning here is if they didn't eat in the car, they didn't go to fast food restaurants and so on, then it wouldn't be an issue and you wouldn't be having this conversation. But by telling them what to do or not do, that's not really your place. It comes across as selfish, controlling, or manipulative. You can check out more about manipulation. I've got a 2-video series. I'll put the link in the description to those 2 videos. What you want to do instead is to talk about the situation, how it impacts you, and listen to what your partner has to say. They might not say anything. They might tell you what's going on with them or why they did it that way. But then you can ask them to clean the car out. So it would sound something like this. When I get in the car, there's nearly always trash left behind. It smells, it's disgusting, and I'd much rather drive around in a clean car than see what they might have to say. If they don't say anything, that's fine. Then you can ask them, you can say something like, "Can you please clean the car out after you use it?" See the difference? You're talking about your side of the fence, not theirs. Your side is what you want. Their side is what they're going to do to accommodate what you want. Now, I'm sure this is going to generate a few questions, especially because it seems so paradoxical to be talking about yourself as not selfish and talking about them as being selfish. So leave your questions and reactions in the comment and let me know what you think. The other thing you can do is get my tip sheet, Saying It Right, Your Guide to Confident Communication, because this is going to give you some guidance on how to have that conversation. I've put the link in the description. It's completely free. Did you get a lot out of this video? Hit that like button. And if you know somebody who could use this information, be sure to share it with them. The other thing you can do to help build the channel is to hit the subscribe button so that this gets it out to other people. Take care and have an amazing week.